Hello everyone, Voodoo here, and today we are doing the first of the Mythic boss kill recap videos, talk over videos, whatever you want to call them. So for those who are new here to the channel, every season as I go through and kill Mythic bosses for the first time, I'll do a video talking over basically tips I found in the fight, ways I think I can improve in the fight, and just general things for you as you go into Mythic and start killing bosses. I might do this with keys later in the season or whenever I actually do keys. I have all my 10s done. I'm like, plus like keys are piss easy right now, so I don't really want to talk over a 10. I don't think there's much value there, but right now it's all I'm doing because it's the fastest for gear. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. But for today, we're doing Imperator Averzian. So this is the first boss. It's actually a pretty cool boss. It's tic-tac-toe. For this boss, this is the build I'm playing. So this is just the standard Annihilator single target raid cleave build. Nothing too funky here. I would probably take Disrupting Fury. I think my build had it. And then also Demon Muzzle is pretty useful because there are kicks in this fight. So I'd probably just do Erratic Fellheart swap, and then you could swap on your movement talents. Probably Bellfire Haste is probably the worst one. Guile's pretty useful, so we'll just drop this. Well, actually, it would be like, oh, I messed everything up. It'd probably be a build looking like this. Where you drop Charred Warblades, because that thing is quite literally useless, and have a build that looks like this. Talent Tree for spec. This way, nothing's changing there. You're not making any changes to this until 12.0.5 comes out, when we'll make a few swaps. But in general, this is the build. It'll be linked down below. It's also up on Wowhead, and yeah. So let's get into the fight. So this fight's pretty cool. Let me mute it so I don't have to hear myself. This clip is up on Twitch if you want to watch it unyapped. So it is all there. But this boss is pretty sick. It is a tic-tac-toe fight, so single target with ad cleave in bursts. So what I do here is I'm actually going to set my meta on pull, and I'm not super sure on meta timings about when the best to use it is, because of the fact that I only had 3 pulls in this boss. We killed it very quickly, so I don't have a great feel for which is better, but I think it's probably better to either send your first void meta because you get it during lust, or to hold it and wait for the first ad set. Now the first ad set is pretty long into the fight. It is a long time if you're holding it, so I think a good combination of the two might be to send this first meta like a little bit into lust, because obviously you don't want to lose lust. Like lust is so huge for Devourer for your cooldowns, because of the fact that you just get more stars, right? Now I do have a star to put in this ad, which is great, and this ad needs to fucking die. So if you guys can notice here, here's all the ads. So if you drop meta here, you'll have a bunch of ads to pad off of. I think it's probably better overall DPS. I think it's less raid DPS if you're holding this first meta. I think later in the fight, sending meta on the ads is awesome, and you should be doing that. But for this first set, hard to say because lust. But if you look here, this is the ads energy, right? It's gaining pretty quickly. You can watch it go up, and when that hits 100, the raid wipes basically. So this Void Shaper needs to die before that hits 100. So that is the #1 thing. And then we're just left with this Annihilator, which we clean up. So I'm already back to a meta almost, which is pretty crazy. And I think I also just send it again. I'm just like full boss damage here at this point, pretty much. But again, I think if you're parsing overall, and maybe if your raid is a little bit worse in terms of damage, we are pretty low gear here, then you can start saving these for ad sets. The other fun thing is that if you do delay for the ad set, they do line up pretty nicely. However, because I'm not delaying here, they don't line up the best, which means that I will get, you know, weird ones where, like in this case here, we're up here and the ads aren't spawning, right? So I probably won't even have a meta for this ad set, I don't think. But also shout out to Atros XO. But again, it's just gonna really depend on what your raid needs, because like, here we need boss damage, right? Because our eye level is so low. This is week 1 of Mythic. Basically, we're like 260 something. I think I'm 272 now, which is a pretty big jump. But in general, it's like okay. And then we swap. We kill the ad. Probably should have saved the star for the ad. I maybe could have gotten. No, I couldn't have gotten another star there. But you know, it's just cleave all the ads, kill them. I think having meta is probably good because you do more AoE damage. I mean, I'm doing pretty good damage overall against Shirley and Vic, our AoE melee cleave gang. But they just die pretty quick. So it's hard to say. Like if your packs you're fighting live a while. Also, watch out for knockbacks. Oh my god, do not be casting a C-star during a knockback. Then we go into the intermission. I'm just sending metas here because, like, why wouldn't I? This is a pretty easy intermission. You just have to avoid the guys that come walking and watch out for the circles in the ground. I'm showing it, so you can actually know where they're going to spawn because the bugs will fly out. See, look, so you can see where those bugs fly. I'll rewind a little bit. So watch for the bug that flies across here. So wherever the bugs come is the sides you can't be on. So the bug's there, so we go over to this side. Pretty straightforward. You can just shift over there. Nothing too crazy. So the other good thing about holding is I do believe my meta will come up for the third ad set. Or not holding, sorry. So I should drop meta here, and I think I'll have it back by the time the ads actually spawn. I don't think I'm going to be able to farm meta out. No, I don't. But that's good because it will jumpstart me into my next void meta. So I'm farming void meta up here. I'm just sending my eradicates here just to try and build back up to void meta as fast as possible, basically. I know it's not really correct to do so, but I'm really trying to get void meta back in time for these ads. My haste is pretty low at this point because just like gear level is bad. But, you know, what can you do? And I have farmed void meta back up. So that is one benefit of sending. I should be holding this collapsing star to cleave on the ads, but I didn't because I'm too ethical. Just in general, like dropping collapsing star here is way more valuable. And the reason why void meta on these ad sets is good is because there's so many of these little guys, these abyssal malice. These don't need to die. They don't have energy or anything like that. Like, they do need to die so that like the tank can go back to the boss, but they have a lot more health, which means that you actually can get value on void meta on them. So having void meta for these ones is actually quite good because the faster they die, the more boss damage the raid is able to swap back to the raid. So that's one of the things with holding where I'm not sure. It's like, I think you'll probably still get void meta for them, but it might also mean that you're missing some boss damage. So it's probably gonna be something that like I figure out over the course of actually like doing this fight in farm, where it's like, okay, if I send meta on pull, do I have it for this set? If I don't send meta on pull, do I have it for this? Because like meta's a weird CD where it's not timed, right? It's all about haste and stuff like that. So sometimes you can have it, sometimes you don't have it. But now I'm pretty sure like my metas are lined up pretty perfectly for the ad sets. So it's tough. It's tough to say. I think if you're progging this boss the first time, I would just send meta on cooldown. I think if you're trying to parse in this fight, then I would hold meta for the first ad, for like each ad set basically, and try and figure that out there. I don't know why I'm void raying. I don't know what I'm really doing here, but whatever. So now we're gonna drop a collapsing star on these fools. They're going to explode pretty much. I canceled my collapsing star by accident because I wiggled. So don't do that. That's a really easy way to lose some damage by canceling your collapsing star. But yeah, so we'll drop 2 stars in this pack pretty much. Come on. Boom. Right before the knockback too. Watch out for that knockback. I would probably have a big wigs timer. I'm going to do that for next week. And then here we are. So we're in the intermission and boss needs to die. So at this point, what we have is we have a little 4x4 cube of tic-tac-toe squares. So all those black portals are basically his circles or X's or whatever you want to call them for tic-tac-toe. And if he makes another one, he has a connection no matter what happens. I probably could have extended that meta. So I'm not doing it in this pull, but a tip for in general in raiding or just for Devourer is that when you're in late in the meta, I would just start strafing back and forth to collect souls as you generate them, just for the fury it gives you to try and sustain yourself to another void meta. I'll probably have a video talking about this later, but it's pretty useful. Anyways, this is what we're talking about. So we have, how do I pause? Here we go. We have, let me pull up paint. 1 second. Can I even, here, I'll pull up snip. Snip is useful. Oh, it's not letting me. Damn. Here, wait. You're taking delay on snip. New snip. Boom. I'm gonna freeze. We've snipped. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is the screen, right? So we have like an X here, an X here. There's another one up top, so we'll put it like this. So if we have our tic-tac-toe board, it's basically like this, right? So they have 4 circles here. Oh, this is really hard to see is blue. Let's make this red. So there's like an X here, an X here, an X here, and an X here. And here we are where he puts a circle here, here, and here. So any of these will actually finish this. So this is his enrage, basically. So at this point, it doesn't really matter which of these guys we get. So we're just gonna get the closest to, because any of these will actually get big tic-tac-toe, right? So It's a cool fight. It's funny they did this. I hope we get Tetris in the future and like shit like that, like rock paper scissors. Like, I think this is fun. But at this point, we are out of space, and anything we do will wipe us. So this will kill us, this will kill us, and this will kill us if we leave them up. So we have basically as much time as he takes to cast 3 of the tank slams. And if he doesn't do it, then we're dead. So this is where you really want to focus boss. Now, our gear level was low, right? Like, we just come into this first week. I think I'm 262. I think I'm 263. Like, we're in the low 260s. No one sent crests yet. All that kind of stuff. And this is where you really want to slam boss damage. So this is really where holding your sending your void meta came up useful. And again, I think if you are first progging this fight, I would probably just send meta on cooldown so you have that for the later ad sets. But I think later on, like trying to pad and like parse and shit like that, not great loot, by the way. I didn't get any of it. Later on, when you're trying to parse and stuff like that, I think saving void meta for each ad set is going to be very useful, right? Like these first ones, you're not really doing a ton of damage to the ads because the first guy dies so quickly, like you're in lust and stuff like that. Like he just kind of blows up, right? Do you even have lust still? No, I think we're at a lust. I meant like the full stacks of my void meta haste though, which is nice. But yeah, like this pack will just blow up. Vin has a star for it, which is very good. And you'll see Vin actually shoots up the meter here because of it. Or I thought he did, but he didn't. But yeah, like you really want to get damage onto those ads so you can go back to boss. So I don't think it's horrible to send or to hold, sorry, but I think general tip is that progging this boss for the first time, I would send meta on cooldown, and then as you get more of a feel for how your guild does with the ads, then you can start holding it. If you're parsing and trying to pad and stuff like that, the ads need to die, so it's not like it's like crazy pad. Then I would hold void meta for the ad sets. Just in general, you'll lose a little bit of boss damage, but obviously Devourer gains so much more damage in AoE, and you'll still be able to do like the tail end of your meta onto the boss, right? So useful that way. Shout out to this guy again. And then again, later in the fight, when you're getting the ad sets that have the bigger guys on them, what are they called? Here, they'll show up here in a second. When the nullers spawn or something like that, these guys, the Malleuses, this is when void meta goes kind of crazy. Obviously, don't cancel your C stars. I canceled one of them, which means that I lost a lot of damage because I had to like delay my first one. So that's not good. But in general, like these ad sets really want to go hard. And then of course these needs to die so that the tanks can do taunt swap. Our blood DK is like dying here because the ads took a little bit of time to get full, but that's life. I lost my target there, which is why I was just sitting around not casting, which can happen sometimes. It's very strange. But yeah, in general, I think it's a really cool fight. In general, I think it's an awesome fight. Pretty fun, a lot of cleave, which is awesome. That's just the general theme of this raid, and as long as you're hitting multiple targets when you can, you're gonna do well in this fight. One more time, I think if you're first progging this, I would just send meta. If you're parsing, I would hold meta for every ad set. You'd lose it. I think you'll probably lose a meta on the boss, but like whatever, who cares, right? Damage. So that's the video. I will probably have Voracious out this weekend as well. Then I'll have a Havoc gearing guide on Monday, and then I'll have the other two because my guild's 4 to 9. We got Hall of Fame for Chimeras. I think we were world 32nd at some point, which is fun. I'll have the other 2 fights out in Mythic out Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. So Saladar and Chimeras, and then hopefully by then we're progging Dragons, and Dragons has died because Dragons also doesn't seem that hard. And then we're into the buzzsaw that is light blinded. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. A big thank you to everyone who watches my videos, but a special shout out to my channel members who help to support me. If you want to become a channel member and get your name shouted out at the end of the video, as well as a special role in my Discord, you can become one down below. But thank you to Inner Sciences Society, Star Fox UY, Fear Redefined, J Wall Drop 2011, Alexander Trifonovich, Anarchy, Lion Cursed, Demonson, Soul Ray, Leffy 3075, Ford R1, Francis McNeil, Max Demps, Spaghetti, Berkeys, DMAC, TYJC 133, and Jovion Lightbringer. Thank you all so much. If you want to become a channel member again, consider following with the link down below. But I appreciate everybody who watches the videos and supports the channel. So hope you guys have a good one. See you guys next time. Peace.